Welcome guys once again to Tubonge. Na hope mna keep safe, na hope mna sanitize, na mna keep social distancing, because tuliambiwa now we have to live with this corona, and yeah, we have to. And sasa it's easy to keep ourselves safe, because it's our responsibility to be healthy, to be at least safe from this pandemic. And finally, there's hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel, because on Saturday the president came out. Now he gave a good speech, and at least there are some things tunaona is trying to do. I always look at the positive side. I don't look on the negative part of it, because negative news always sells out. But for me, I'll always look at the positive side of it. So the president came out, talked about the stimulus program, of which many countries they are doing that. It's true, to improve the economy. And he talked about a 53.7 billion that is set aside for stimulus program, which is going to be distributed through employment, infrastructure, transportation, and education, SMEs, and other things zenye I'll talk about. But to me, I'll talk about SMEs because that is the field that I'm in. I'm a small business in a small business place, which is a studio, and this will affect us positively in a way. And there was alisema that 10 billion was set aside to pay medium enterprises, of which these are at least companies that produce massive things, and maybe the people who have been winning tenders for the government in governments, so they have to be paid the invoices, and at least get back to normal routine of their businesses. But there was 3 billion that was set aside to credit SMEs, and this is a good thing, I can say, because small businesses, enterprises will make a lot if they have positioned themselves in that place to access that credit, that 3 billion. And how do you access it? Because the government cannot come to your business na wapatie loan ya ati you want 100 million wakupatie, unataka 10 million wakupatie. No, the government will give through banks, and that's how economy works. It will go through banks and maybe SACCOs. So you should have a good loan book, at least loan book yako inafaa kuwa poa, ama credit book yako inafaa kuwa poa, of which many youths I know, and many young people I know, they are wanakuwaga tu in bad books, and it's a bad thing, yeah. But there's a good loan. You shouldn't take a loan to buy a car that is not bringing back something to you, other than always taking from you. And a bad loan, you shouldn't take a loan to buy something that you think is not going to give you to pay back maybe that loan. So how do you access that good loan? First of it, you should have maybe in a bank, or you should have an account in a SACCO and save for at least 6 months. That's mainly according to the constitution of many banks, ama the set constitution za many banks and financial institutions to give you credit a loan within a period of 6 months. They'll see that's half an year to see how good you are with your savings, how good you are with whatever you're doing. So how can you access these good loans? First of it, at least make sure that una save with an institution, a financial institution yenye inaweza kupatia good loan at a minimal interest rate. And this 3 billion that was set aside, it will be accessed, I know, by rich people. It will be accessed by people who know who have positioned themselves in the right places, who have good relationship with banks, who have good relationship with their circles. But have you positioned yourself pia na hiyo side hustle unakuanga nayo, na hiyo job unakuanga umeset? Have you positioned yourself to access that loan, at least to bring back your normalcy, routine of doing business? So you should ask yourself, how can I position myself to access such money so that I can improve my life? Because this is what they don't tell us, especially in school, because shule itakupatia everything, but mainly you should have a good loan that inaweza improve your business within the period that the company is the business that umeset iko positioned in a good financial stability. And this is what I've come to understand. Many rich people, I'll take wealthy people. I'll take, for example, Chris Kirubi, when he was setting up Two Rivers and the whole project about Two Rivers, he sold 40% of his share, of which is a good thing, because these are only people who had positioned themselves with Chris Kirubi to access such investment, and walibuy shares zake, and maybe you can get is people who have access to loans through banks. So they will go to a bank, they ask for certain amount of loan, and then wakuja walete Chris Kirubi, and then the investors now they start their job. And it's a good thing to position yourself, have good connection with banks, have good connection with circles, have good connection with people at least who will improve your life. You can never do big things, especially if you're a youth. You can never do big things alone. So you have to position yourself well and have good connections with people who understand finances, people who understand how to access a good loan, people who will teach you how to work the loan pole, and you pay it off, and then you get another loan, and you pay it off, at least to improve your business. And for me, nimekam to learn that way when, like 2 years ago, we had like me and my friends tulikuwa na like a chama, and our aim was to improve each other's life. But for me, ililemea along the way, but now I can say that nililearn, because one of my friend bought the whole share from me, and he bought a car, of which is doing well as an Uber driver, and he bought even another car within 1 year. So I can say that if I knew I would position myself with him kabisa, maybe pia mimi ningekuwa na access ya a good amount of loan to do some other things than nilikuwa nafaa kufanya. But I don't blame myself. I only have to say that I have learned, and I cannot say na regret, but nili learn how to have a good loan, and one of it is by seeing him, whatever he did, and even accessing a good loan and buying off a car that is now giving him returns, and he has bought another one and is giving him returns. So because this 3 billion that ilikuwa set aside by the president haitakuja on your doorstep, haitakuja through osmosis, through prayers. No, you shouldn't wait for that. You should work towards that. You should at least make sure una good access of good loan for your business or for your side hustle or for the place that you want to be. And yes, as I always say, be yourself and love yourself. Grow yourself now, because you need it to bomb.